Welcome, John. A real pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much
I
for
enjoyed our
having me.
previous, yeah, I enjoyed our previous conversation and very happy to hear, a little bit about your journey, what you do today, and then your estimation of the business and at the intersection of AI. Obviously, welcome to our podcast, Master AI Disruption. So you're calling from Georgia, Metro Atlanta, Georgia. Yes?
Yes.
All right. So without much ado, why don't you tell us a little bit what got you here in a few words, and then situate your business, what you do, what kind of clientele you go after, how many clients you have, how long you've been in the business, so that our audience can situate you. And then we'll move on to the next thing.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to share with you and your audience. I've been in the business for over 30 years, focusing primarily on commercial insurance transactions and independent brokerage here. What we focus on is providing almost like a boutique or a niche service where you have clients that are small or not too large, and they don't have the capabilities of looking at risk from our perspective. So we tend to give them advice regarding their risk, the governance, the insurance placement, and essentially we're seeking to protect their assets and build long-term relationships in the process and ensure that they can meet their short-term goals as well as their long-term goals.
Mhm.
So we're not so interested in the transaction. We're interested in building a relationship and helping them understand that we are friends that can interpret their risk and provide alternatives and a path to protect their interests.
So tell us what kind of product you offer, what's your typical client, and how many of them do you have in your business books of business?
Yes, thank you for that. As an independent insurance broker, we have a number of markets that we can, and a market is considered an insurer. We can help clients place their risk or their insurance need through those markets. And
Mhm.
we have over 100 different insurance companies or underwriters that we can help clients get competitive quotes. Our portfolio is significant in a sense that as a scratch agency, in just under a year, we have over 300 clients. We're steadily growing. We have the expertise to not only help the client, as I said, understand their risk, but we can also assist them with placing the coverage on the back end as well.
Okay. So you used to work with Lloyd's of London.
Yeah. Essentially, what happened is at some point in my career, I decided to step outside of the box. I think our industry as a whole, we have given the client the perception that we're always seeking to close the deal in the transaction for premium and commission purposes. So my perspective was different. I saw a need in the marketplace where there was products that were needed locally but not being provided. So as a result of that, I developed a business plan, communicated that business plan and negotiated that business plan with a syndicate at Lloyd's of London to become a cover holder for Lloyd's of London for 4 products, insurance products that would allow me to impact in a positive way the local market that I was serving. As an example, one of those products was medical malpractice. Senior doctors were experiencing a number of challenges with their premiums from Lloyd's of London, and I decided that I could provide a solution, not only the capacity for a new product, but also a premium concession in a sense. And I was able to become a cover holder for Lloyd's of London for that local market, as well as offering Lloyd's of London products on a regional basis.
Got it. Yeah. So with this long and extensive experience that you had in insurance, and varied experience, what are the trends that you observe today on the market and that you feel are things that you need to watch for in order to adapt your business?
I think we always look at premium and the impact of the premium on our clients. Sometimes there's a hard market, sometimes there's a soft market. In the hard market, the premiums are higher. Soft market, the premiums are lower. In this case, we've been in a situation where, at least in the metro Atlanta area, we've been in a hard cycle on the commercial and personal line side. So that's always a challenge for the customers. And as an independent broker, I'm thankful that I can provide alternatives and give them an opportunity to compare and to look around and to see which is the best option for them. And then on the flip side, obviously, globally, the issue of cyber security
Sure.
is still a significant impact. And how do we assist our clients on the commercial side to protect data, to protect their organization, to ensure that they meet compliance and regulatory requirements? And then how is AI impacting our profession and how is that impacting the clients? And so we constantly evaluate what's going on globally because our industry is impacted in many ways based on the global situations.
So what are your goals and metrics for your next level at JGA Insurance Solutions?
Well, that's a good question because what we always look at from an independent broker's perspective is growth. We have a lot of competition. There are a lot of choices for clients to make, to choose from companies that are large in our industry, very large, are very reputable, good standing. And then there are a number of captive agencies around as well. So the key is how do we grow in that sort of environment where there's a lot of competition? We also look at retention. How do we keep our clients when they're constantly facing budgetary issues or premium increases? And if they decide that they're, for whatever reason, particularly when it relates to the premium, that they can no longer remain with us, that impacts us in a significant way. So we're looking at growth, we're looking at retention, and then we're also looking at profitability. On the commercial side, if we spend our time developing those relationships, preparing the submission to the underwriter, as well as preparing to introduce a proposal to the client and then delivering that proposal, that could be a considerable amount of time that could elapse from the start to the finish. And if we don't win that client over, then that's significant man hours and time that's gone into without a return.
Okay, that's a lot of balls to juggle then, huh? Really, in this environment. Okay, so you've actually shared quite candidly when we prepared that a significant pain point in the insurance industry is a lack of innovation and leadership's reluctance to think outside of the box, as you did yourself when you were working for Lloyd, as you said, and especially not thinking out of the box when it comes to AI. So how does this industry-wide challenge, we see that every day in the news, specifically impact your insurance firm, JGA Insurance Solutions, and your ability to scale with it?
Yes, I think for me, I see AI as a significant benefit to our industry. It provides many opportunities for us to not only provide a better service to the client, but also to be more accurate and more thorough in understanding our clients' needs. Years ago, when I first started in the industry, if you had a commercial client, in order to understand their business, you had to spend a lot of time
Sure.
talking to them. You had to spend a lot of time maybe canvassing some other written materials. Now at our fingertip, we could ask, AI, give us information about this particular client. Also give us the ideal insurance platform or program for that client with the specified limits. So in that way, we begin to work with the client to not only evaluate what they currently have, but also to offer them the ideal insurance program that's suitable for them where they are at the moment. So AI can provide significant changes, upgrades to the quality of the service that we're providing, the timeliness of providing that service, and also the accuracy of the service and analyzing the current placements and the future placement of insurance programs for clients.
Well, you said that you use AI to evaluate the policies that they could that would be fitting them best. But does AI have always access to those careers websites? I thought there were some problems at times, to access.
So I'll give you an example. I've had in the past, I've worked with significant commercial clients. Those clients would have had at least 7 or 8 different types of policy. Their main policy would be the property portfolio. And in one case, I had a client whose policy wording was over 200 pages. Now, the challenge with that is it was a government agency, and through the years, there was a lot of cutting and pasting of creating that document, that policy, to the point to where that policy really wasn't a legal contract because the wording and the conditions didn't match the product itself. In a case like that, we could load that template into AI. AI can assess the policy and confirm that, look, the policy that you have is not a legitimate contract. It won't respond to your needs. And then tell AI, give us the right policy wording that will respond to the client's need. So that's a prime example of how we could take an existing document, which the client is paying millions of dollars for, a product, and that product legally is not a legitimate contract. In insurance, as we know, the policy is a contract that should respond when the client needs it the most.
Okay, you were also big stuff, big stuff. So you also mentioned the challenge of gaining access to new risk management advisory clients on a standalone basis. So how are you currently trying to overcome this, and what are the biggest hurdles you face in connecting with those high-level decision makers as clients?
Well, I think for a small agency, our challenge is always our branding and our market appeal, because we do compete against larger companies and that have significant resources. However, when we use our creative abilities, our intellect, we can begin to early on give the client an impression that we really have something unique to offer that they're not getting from the larger competitors. So how do we get the word out that we can assist them with risk, we can assist them with governance, we can assist them with understanding the challenges related to insurance policy wording and pricing? Well, one of the things we do is use social media to our benefit.
Sure.
We have a website. We also, on my LinkedIn page, I post twice a week, and I'm pretty interested. I shouldn't say interested, but I'm pretty aggressive in a sense that my main motivation is to educate the client and to let them know that we provide these services and give them an example of how that service can benefit their organization and their corporation.
Good. So quickly, how do you see AI serving you even bigger moving forward?
Well, as I indicated, I see AI as a significant thing for our industry.
Yes.
How it serves me moving forward is AI becomes not only a colleague, not only an employee, but also a resource where I can get information that previously I found it very difficult to find information, and I'm seeking to get this information for the client. We're always looking to understand what are the short-term goals that we can help you accomplish as a client, and what are your long-term goals. AI is giving me a platform and a resource to retrieve information by asking the right questions relative to that client's need, and then providing that information to the client. Also, from an employee perspective, AI can provide services and is providing services for us that would have taken some time. As an example, when we're looking to prepare a submission, if that submission is for a London broker who's going into the Lloyd's of London syndicate to get quotes for us, I've had submissions that were 20 pages, because when you start to add the endorsements and you start to add the conditions and the exclusions that are needed for that commercial client, that could take some time. So you typically work on templates, but AI can assess what you are providing to the market to ensure that it's the right product that you're requesting.
Got it. Okay, so last question for us today, as we're nearing the end of this podcast. So, if I were to give you a magic wand and you could wave it and change things overnight, things that you think are priorities, but the day-to-day takes over and and pushes it back on the list of execution, what is it that you would change from an operational standpoint and from a sales engine growth engine sales points. So within your circle of influence, okay, not changing the interest rate at the Fed, not changing climate change, but what you can affect you in your practice.
What impacts me the most is the client's perception of the commercial or the insurance broker. And how do I change that perception? And that perception, in some ways, in some regards, is legitimate because we brokers have given them the perception through our actions. And what am I saying? Clients believe that ultimately our concern is based on transaction, selling the coverage, banking the commissions, and revenue. Not so much what happens afterwards, but it's that transaction. So if I could change it, I would want the client to see me and see JGA Insurance Solutions as an organization or an insurance brokerage that is seeking to sell them governance principles, leadership accountability, organization resilience, risk management, and of course, the insurance placement in a package. Is not separated where they have to go to different agencies or advisory firms, but we can provide that in-house.
Okay. Understood. Yeah. Okay. Big goal. All right. Well, thank you very much, John. A pleasure to have you, and maybe we'll reconvene in a year to see how you were faring those past 12 months and through the ups and downs of this market and fast change environment of AI. My pleasure to have you. Thank you so much, and until next time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. Take care.
You're very welcome.